Okay, this is lesson 3.2, preparing a budget sheet. For this, you will need notes and a pencil. So a budget sheet is really a record of your monthly expenses. So every time you buy something, you would write down what that is. So you can use records of your past expenditures to prepare a budget sheet outlining your total monthly expenses. So you can tell that's what they have here. David Berlin is not sure where all his money goes. David's friend suggests he make a monthly budget. So here they wrote down everything and then they put it into categories. So there's 3 different kinds. Okay, so the living expenses, which they include food, utility bills, and pocket money. There's fixed expenses. Those are things like your rent or bills that are the same amount every single month. So no matter what you do, you're paying the same thing every month. So those could be car payments. And then there's annual expenses like insurance for your house, insurance for your vehicles, other bills that you really only pay every 6 months or once a year. So living expenses, again, are routine expenses, including the amounts for food, utility bills, and pocket expenses. Please pause if you need to record the vocab. So these are 2 separate equations, okay? Formulas that you're going to need to know. And they're both already in your notes. So you have your living expenses, your fixed expenses, and your shared of annual. But to find your shared of annual, you have to do this. So this one and the first 2, you're gonna living and fixed, you can figure out. But annual expenses are you take all of your annual expenses if you're down by 12. So every month you would just include how much that is, okay? And that helps you save money when you have those larger bills. So we're going to look at a sheet, and you will have a bill form, something similar to this in your practice sheet, okay? So you need to listen carefully to the video. So this is somebody's monthly living expenses is right here, okay? And that is everything that goes down. So when you get your sheet, you will have to add all of this to get your total. It will not be totaled for you. Then you have your monthly fixed expenses. You're adding all of that. Then you have your annual expenses, okay? So you add all them up, and then you divide by 12. So this is how much every month he's going to save. So when it becomes those annual expenses, you will have them. Then what you're going to do is here is your 3 things, you add those up, okay? Then you write down how much you make. So remember, you have your gross pay. We did deductions in chapter 2. In chapter 3, you're taking your net pay, subtracting your budget, and seeing what your monthly expenses will be. So you will get a sheet like this that are going to ask you questions, and you need to look at the sheet for monthly, living, fixed, and annual expenses. Okay, so when you get that sheet, this is kind of another example. You add them all up and put it down here. You're adding up your monthly, you add up your annually, you divide that by 12. You put those 3 things in here. So this is their net income, subtract their bills and see how much they have left. Okay, so you want to always try to have money left every month. Okay, so you will be getting the practice sheet, which will look similar to this. You will need to add the monthly, living, fixed, annual expenses, divided by 12 with the annual expenses. And then you will fill in the rest of the questions, and then there'll be some questions for you to answer about that monthly budget sheet. So go on to the practice and then the mastery check.